Zarthek adjusted his bioscanner for the third time, still unable to believe the readings. The primitive blue-green world before him registered only Stone Age technology levels, yet somehow these humans had achieved basic spaceflight. His four amber eyes narrowed in confusion as he reviewed the data again. Impossible, he chittered in his native tongue, mandibles clicking with frustration. The hegemony's advanced scouts never made errors in their assessments, yet here was an entire species that defied classification. His sleek reconnaissance vessel, no larger than what humans might call a fighter jet, descended through Earth's atmosphere with barely a whisper. Cloaking technology rendered him invisible to their crude detection systems. Within moments, he had landed in what his computer identified as a national forest in a region called Montana. Zarthek emerged from his craft, his chitinous gray form stretching to its full 7-foot height. Multiple sensory organs atop his elongated skull swept the area, detecting the primitive electromagnetic signatures he expected. No plasma weapons, no quantum disruptors, no neural scramblers. These creatures still used projectile weapons powered by chemical reactions, laughably primitive by hegemony standards. A rustling in the nearby foliage caught his attention. His tactical implants immediately highlighted the source. A lone human male, approximately 30 Earth years old, carrying what appeared to be a curved wooden stick and a quiver of sharpened sticks. Zarthek's mandibles spread in what his species considered laughter. Even more primitive than expected, the human emerged into the clearing, stopping short when he spotted the alien craft. Marcus Chen had been tracking deer through these woods since dawn, but nothing could have prepared him for this encounter. He stood frozen, grip tightening on his compound bow as his mind struggled to process the impossible scene before him. Well, Marcus said quietly, more to himself than anyone else, that's definitely not a weather balloon. Zarthek's universal translator processed the human's words instantly. How quaint, the creature could barely comprehend what it was seeing. The alien stepped forward, his biosuit speakers producing a reasonable approximation of human speech. "Greetings, primitive one," Zarthek announced with condescending authority. "I am Scout Zarthek of the Hegemony Advance Corps. Your world has been selected for resource extraction. Do not be alarmed, your species will be relocated to suitable preserve worlds." Marcus blinked several times, his brain catching up to the situation. An alien invasion, of course. Just his luck to be the first human to make contact, and the bastard was already talking about strip mining Earth. "Resource extraction?" Marcus repeated, his voice steady despite the surreal circumstances. "That's a fancy way of saying you want to steal our planet." Zarthek's sensory organs twitched with amusement. "Theft implies ownership, primitive. Your species lacks the technological sophistication to lay claim to an entire world. Observe." The alien raised what Marcus could only assume was a weapon, a sleek, crystalline device that hummed with barely contained energy. With casual precision, Zarthek aimed at a large pine tree 50 meters away and fired. The plasma bolt struck with devastating effect. The ancient tree, easily 4 feet in diameter, simply ceased to exist from the point of impact upward. The remaining stump smoldered with otherworldly fire, its molecular structure fundamentally altered by the alien weapon. "Your most advanced military weapons could not achieve such precision and power," Zarthek declared smugly. "What could your primitive projectile launcher possibly accomplish against hegemony technology?" Marcus studied the smoking tree stump, then looked down at his bow. 60-pound draw weight, carbon fiber arrows, titanium broadheads. Against plasma weapons and force fields, it seemed laughably inadequate. But Marcus had learned long ago that the weapon was only as good as the person wielding it. "You want to see what this primitive projectile launcher can do?" Marcus asked, knocking an arrow with practiced ease. Zarthek's mandibles clicked with derision. "By all means, demonstrate your species' pathetic—" The arrow flew faster than the alien's enhanced reflexes could track. But instead of striking the scout directly, it split the air mere inches from his weapon, which Zarthek had carelessly lowered while gloating. What happened next defied everything the alien thought he knew about primitive ballistics. The arrow struck the plasma rifle's focusing crystal at precisely the right angle, sending a hairline fracture through its core. The weapon's next discharge, intended as another demonstration of superiority, backfired catastrophically. The explosion sent Zarthek tumbling backward, his biosuit smoking and several sensory organs ringing from the overload. When his vision cleared, he found the human standing over him, Another arrow knocked and drawn. "Here's the thing about us primitives," Marcus said calmly. "We've been perfecting the art of putting pointy things exactly where we want them for about 50,000 years. Your fancy space gun? How long have your people been using those? A few hundred years? Maybe 1,000? Zarthek's translator struggled with the human's calm confidence. This was impossible. No primitive species could achieve such precision, especially not under combat stress. "You see," Marcus continued, "my grandfather taught me to shoot this bow." His grandfather taught him. Knowledge passed down through generations, refined and perfected. Your weapon makes a bigger boom, sure, but it's still just a tool, and tools are only as good as the skill behind them. The alien scout attempted to reach for a backup weapon, but another arrow buried itself in the ground inches from his grasping appendage. The message was clear. "Now," Marcus said, his voice taking on a harder edge, "about this resource extraction nonsense, I think you might want to revise your assessment of this primitive world. Because if one human with a bow can disable your weapon, imagine what 8 billion of us might accomplish when properly motivated." Zarthek's multiple eyes focused on the human's face, searching for any sign of bluff or bravado. He found only cold determination and the quiet confidence of someone who had never missed what he aimed at. For the first time in his military career, Scout Zarthek began to consider that perhaps the hegemony's intelligence reports had missed something crucial about this blue world. As he slowly raised his hands in surrender, one thought echoed through his alien mind. The High Command was going to need a new category for these humans. Far more dangerous than their technology suggested,